Welcome to Plan Watch Walk, a channel that brings you some of the best walking around. If you like what we do, why not subscribe and hit the bell? We've got a really nice walk ahead of us today. Plenty to see. We start off from Wylam. We head along the River Tyne towards Ovingham before heading across the fields up to Ovington, then through Whittledean to Horsley before returning through Horsley Woods and back through into Wylam. Today's walk is in the regions of 10 miles. Well, we're starting off today's walk. We're in Wylam, just not far from the bridge over the Tyne, and we've got just ahead of us here we've got the cenotaph. Behind us we've got the car park, so we're going to be heading up towards Wylam. We're going to turn off left pretty quickly and just walk along the side of the river. So we need to be heading down the road just next to what appears to be Jules, down past these nice little cottages here. Ahead of us we can just see the outline there of the bridge. That's a bridge that's going to take us over the river and get us to the south side of the River Tyne. Got a nice set of steps here on the approach up to the bridge. And we can head over. Looking west here, got a really nice view looking up the Tyne. So we pass some of the bridge construction, the white pieces that are coming through. I'm going to be heading up the side to the left, which is the southern side, and a really nice backdrop for a walk. As we're on the south side, we're now walking along tarmac path just alongside the river itself. I don't know if we can see, even though it's the first day of spring, still a decent amount of frost on the ground. There's plenty of signage along the way. So we can see ahead of us here some points of interest. You've got a couple of options as you're coming along the south side of the river. You can continue on the tarmac path, or there's a route where you can turn off to the right and come down towards the river itself, which I think is a little bit more pleasant, and you're along pathways in preference to a tarmac path. So as I continue along, you can see a bridge ahead of us. This is Ovingham Bridge. We need to take the bridge, head over to the north side of the river into Ovingham. So down below us here is a path we've just walked along. Coming up and heading over the river. As we look ahead, we've got Ovingham just ahead of us, and there's the church just off to the left of the road. So walk past the church. You want to head on down the road for a short while, and then we will pick up the path and we'll start to pull away from the Tyne and head up over the fields towards Ovingham, which you may just be able to see ahead of us there. So we've just come down from the church. We've passed the Bridge End pub. No surprises, there's a bridge and that's the end of the bridge. So we want to walk over the bridge, over a little stream here, a brook, and we see a sign just after this and it says Ovington 1 mile. So we now head up the road towards Ovington. Just pulled back from the little stream. We've got a stile here ahead of us with a public footpath sign on, and we're going to be walking up just the side to where those gates are ahead of us. I can see Ovington ahead of us and the field will just come over. As we look up ahead, we're heading up the side of the field here. See Ovington ahead of us. So we'll continue up the side of the field here. You notice on the left there's a gate, and on the gate there's a sign which says public footpath. So we're heading on through the gate, moving fields and heading up the side of the field. We're pretty much up to Ovington now. We're going to be picking up the road pretty shortly. It's worth just taking a minute just to have a look up the Tyne Valley. Really is beautiful. Ahead of us there we've got Stocksfield. As we pan round, next go up to Prudhoe, and just to the left of where the smoke is coming out, the steam's coming out, we've got Ovingham, where we've just come from, and we're heading up to Ovington now. So we come to the end of the field and we come to a set of steps just taking us down to the road. Head on down the steps and then we turn right and head up into into Ovington itself. Then we pick up another path on our right further up here and head off across the fields again. So ahead of us we've got some signage for Ovington. We don't actually want to be going that way. We want to be following the track which is straight ahead of us, which is St Andrew's Way, St Andrew's Lane I think it is. It's marked on the OS map. So we'll follow this one along and continue on our way, heading towards Horsley now. It's beautifully still and tranquil. You can hear the birds, just the view along the Tyne Valley. Just so quiet, beautiful. Along the way here there's been a couple of chairs. If you've got the time and the inclination, it's really worth stopping, having a seat and taking in the view. As we come towards the end of St Andrew's Lane, there's a bit of a fork. We want to take the left hand, head up towards the woods. It's probably worth having an OS map at this point because we're going to be going through the woods, and it appears there's going to be many paths, so map and compass would probably be quite a plan. So we'll come down the path and we're going to be heading into the wooded area. As I say, we can hear the stream, so we know we're heading in the right direction. So this is Whittledean. We've come up the path into an opening here, and there's a number of wooden cabins just stuck in the woods here. So at the Whittledean sign, got a couple of options. We can go straight ahead and walk through the woods a bit. We're going to head up to the right. If we have a look at the OS map, it's indicating to head to the path we want up to Horsley. We need to do a little bit of climbing, of which this path is. So we'll head up here and head through the very pleasant woodlands. So we pull out of Whittledean, come to the gate here. As you come out of there, got a path off to our right. Looking at the map, we need to turn left and then pick up a path on our right further up here, up the side of the woods. Here's the path straight ahead of us. We've got the wooded area ahead of us, and we've just come over from there. We've traced the side of the fields, and continue to have the Tyne Valley pretty much on our right the whole way as we're heading across here. We're heading east, and we need to continue along the side of the field. We're going to be coming to Gallow Hill Lane. We've just come to Gallow Hill Lane. See the signage from where we've come from, Whittledean. The map says you can actually head straight over the fields. That's actually incorrect. You've got to go around the sides of the fields and then pull up the side of the road here. So we are going to be heading over the lane, picking up the path here. As it says, pick it up, Horsley, 3/4 of a mile. As we're pulling away from the lane we crossed, following the dry stone wall, ahead of us just behind the trees here, we've got Whittle Farm. As we continue up this slight rise, ahead of us here, we have Horsley, which is our last village before we head back down towards Wylam and the conclusion of the walk. As we're getting close to Horsley, we're more or less at the highest point, just off in the distance, way over. That's actually Newcastle and Gateshead. So we're not that far up the Tyne Valley really at all. As we pull round, we can see the different towns, villages along the way, and further up to our right, which is west, because we're looking south, we've got Corbridge and Hexham. Well, we're coming to the end of the fields as we get towards Horsley, which we've got ahead of us. So we need to pick up on the road, turn left, and we're going to head through the village for a couple hundred yards, I suppose, and then we're going to pick up another path far side of Horsley and head off across the fields once again. We'll catch up with you in a minute. So we come right the way out of Horsley, and the last couple of houses on the right hand side as we're walking out, just by the gate here, there's a signpost, a public footpath, Wylam, 1.5 miles. So we'll head on through. So we've just come off the road, down past a couple of houses along the side of the fence, and it's really hard to pick up actually. I missed it just before we get to the farm buildings there. Just on our left here there's a stile with public footpath. Look, so we need to take this one and go down the side of the little coppice area, and let's see where we get to. So we've just come down the side of the barn. Number of horses in the field here as we pan round. Get a little view, and that over in the background is Newcastle and Gateshead. So we're not that far from a major conurbation, and yet it is so peaceful and quiet on this walk. It's just amazing. We can just see above the trees, more or less centre of picture, slightly below centre of picture, that's Wylam. So I think we've got about a mile, maybe it's 1.5 miles tops, to conclude the walk, which genuinely has been really pleasant walk. As we cut across the field, we've got Burn Cottage on our left, and we just continue across the field till we get to the stile, head over the stile, and then you can see the path ahead of it heading towards the woods. We come across the stile on the fence by the tree, and there appears to be a couple of options, but I don't think there is. Down at the bottom of the field here there's a stile. It appears to be there's a path through the woods. I've just had a look and it's not particularly well defined, but the path that's on the OS map is the path that takes us down the side of the fields. I'm looking at the number of footprints down here. Seems to be reasonably well used, and we've been well rewarded by coming down the path, because we've got a really nice little burn here. Underfoot's a bit wet. There's a really nice burn here, and they've given us a bridge to head over as well. Well, instead of heading straight across to the road and down the road, came down the side of the woods, down the side of the field. It's a path right the way along. We'll come down the southern side of the woods here, back from the road, and the path itself starts to head into the woods. See here, just on the left we've got the sign for the public path, so we need to now follow this through the woods, and then we'll get back down the River Tyne again and finish off the walk down by the Tyne. Come through the wooded area. I think what you just see ahead of us there's the disused railway line, bridge rather, that we went over on the way out. We're now higher up but along the side of the Tyne with the sun reflecting off it later on in the day. If we pick up the road, we're actually going to turn right, probably only about 100 metres, maybe 150 metres, and then we're going to turn off left again. That's going to take us, it's going to finish off the walk hopefully really nicely along the side of the Tyne, and trace the route back in to into Wylam and conclude the walk. And here we go. Here's the signpost, which is going to take us, public footpath, it's going to take us back along the Tyne and into Wylam. Once again, we've come along the side of the Tyne, on the north side this time, and we're back at the disused railway bridge, which is now a footbridge. So we're going to be heading up the steps here, the slope, and then we just follow the path back along the opposite direction, which brought us to the bridge at the beginning of the walk. Well, that concludes the walk today, and what a really nice walk it's been. Blessed by some beautiful weather as well. If you like the walk, why not subscribe and hit the bell? There's many more walks available. All the planning's available on the website. We hope to see you on some more walks. Until then, bye for now.